Okay. Sorry, I had to make sure it was recording, guys. So, welcome to the Week 6 predictions for the NFL 2019 season. This season has been really weird because there hasn't really been, too many super predictable games, and a lot of them have honestly gone the opposite way of what you'd expect them to go. So, with that being said, please take these with a grain of salt and keep in mind, as I say in every episode, all because I pick against your team doesn't mean I think they're suck. And yes, you're the Dolphins. It's just because of how the teams stack up against one another. With that being said, let's start with the 2-3 Giants traveling to Foxborough to take on the 5-0 Patriots. This is honestly the easiest one to call this week. The Patriots are 99.9% going to win this game, unless the Giants turn in some superhuman performance or something. The Patriots are 21-2 in October games since 2014, so let that also be a factor. And the fact that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots are, I think, either undefeated or they have lost one time to like a first-time starting quarterback or a rookie quarterback or whatever. So with that being said, take the Patriots, unfortunately. Sorry, I had to sneeze there, guys. Second game, we got the Carolina Panthers going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. This one's difficult because the Buccaneers have been an up-and-down team all year. The Panthers have been basically pretty damn good since Allen took over, I think his name is. Hold on, let me click into this. Sorry, guys, I don't normally do this, but I want to see who they show as their Kyle Allen. So Kyle Allen has won all three of the games he started, and Cam Newton was 0-2 to start the year. So now we know who's starting at quarterback. I'm going to say the Panthers win. I think Allen keeps on a roll, but don't be surprised if the Buccaneers win at home. So here we have the Eagles traveling to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. This is a rematch of the NFC divisional. I think it was the NFC Championship game. I can't remember which one it was, but 2 years ago these two played in the playoff game. That was the year the Eagles made the Super Bowl and won it. So with that being said, this year they're both sitting at 3-2. They're both playing pretty good football. Minnesota has some frustrated wide receivers. Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs are both very frustrated with Kirk Cousins right now. They pulled off a 28-10 win last week, but that was against the Giants. The Eagles are a whole different animal. So this one's pretty hard, and if you read the little thing, didn't mean to click on that. NFL's second. Sorry, I fucking hate this app sometimes. NFL's second leading rusher, Cook versus Philadelphia top-ranked defense against the run. That's going to play a big factor because I think the Vikings have had to lean heavily on Cook, and if Cook gets stopped, Kirk Cousins has never been able to really be the one to carry the team. So with that being said, I think the Eagles win on the road and move on to 4-2. The Redskins 0-5 battle the 0-4 Miami Dolphins. First matchup of winless teams a week since 6 or later since 2004. Good start. I honestly think the Redskins are going to win. I think they're just a smidge better than the Dolphins. And, the Dolphins might lead at halftime or have, it close, like a 6-7, 6-10, 7-10, something like that. And then just get absolutely anal fucked the rest of the game. So I think that's the way this one's going to go. I think the Redskins are going to notch their first win, and the Dolphins are going to go to 0-5. However, don't be surprised if the Redskins do lose, because for all we know, they could be trying to tank for Tua too, and this is the easiest way to do it is to lose the team that's also tanking it for Tua. So I'm going to say the Redskins, but anything can happen. They both are winless, so yeah. So the 3-2 Texans travel into Kansas City to take on the 4-1 Chiefs. The Chiefs lost last week in surprising fashion to the Indianapolis Colts. 19-10, I think, was the final score. It might have been 19-13. I'm not sure which. Patrick Mahomes' 15-0 career record in non-primetime games. So let that one sink in to you for a second. I think the Chiefs bounce back. They are at home yet again like they were last week. They are playing against I believe, a much better defense than the Colts. But also, it seems like the Texans have been up and down this season, so I'm going to pick the Chiefs, who are more consistent the past 2 seasons. However, the Chiefs lose, that does open the door for the rest of the AFC West, but I think the Chiefs win just because of the talent difference on both sides. The Saints, 4-1, led by Teddy Bridgewater, go into Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Gardner Minshew, a.k.a. the biggest meme right now for football, anyways. So, Teddy Bridgewater is 3-0 right now against all the teams he's played this year since taking over for Drew Brees. Teddy Bridgewater in New Orleans won 6 of its last 7 starts. Gardner Minshew was off last week against the... Did the Panthers play him last week? I think it was the Panthers. I can't be sure because that game wasn't broadcast here, but I'm pretty sure it was the Panthers. Give me the Saints. I think that Teddy Bridgewater knocks them up to 5-1. About a week or two, 1 or 2 more weeks before Drew Brees is supposed to come back. I think it's either week 9 or week 10 is when he's projected to come back right now. He might come back sooner, but I think the Saints win this. I say the Jaguars keep it nice and close, but I think the Saints end up winning. Next, we have the Seahawks traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So the 4-1 Seahawks, 2-3 Browns. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. Even though they're on the road and they typically don't play well on the road, I think that the Browns have been playing a lot under the hype and may have bought into their own hype a little bit too much. Lost to teams like the Niners, the Rams, and the Titans, but have beaten... I think they've only beaten the Jets and some other team. I forgot who they beat the other time. But 2-3, 4-0. I think the Seahawks win. Even if Cleveland's super loud this week, I think it's going to come down to basically the offense and how the defense responds to last week's loss. And keep in mind the Seahawks have won 5 straight games versus the AFC North. So with all that being weighed, I think the Seahawks do win this game. I think, last of the morning slot, we have the 0-5 Bengals going against the 3-2 Ravens. I think the Ravens win. Obviously, Bengals are 0-5, which means they're not having a good year. But also, just talent-wise, it doesn't stack up. If you don't have wide receiver A.J. Green, the Bengals have, John Ross and Tyler Boyd. If you shut down one or both of them, they have to lean on the run. The run game's been inconsistent this year, I think. So I'm going to say the Ravens win at home, move on to 4-2. The 4-0 Seahawks travel to LA to take on the Rams. This is a tough one. The 49ers have obviously been playing really great this year because they're 4-0. They have had an underwhelming or overwhelming schedule. I'm not sure which one it was. They did beat the Browns last week, who on paper are better than them. Hey, all I'm going to say is a win's a win, and they're 4-0. They're going against a much stiffer competition, I think, this week compared to all their other weeks. Not by much in some cases, maybe, but definitely up here compared to the rest. This one's tough because I want to say the 49ers roll to 5-0, but I think the Rams will bounce back at home. No, I'm going to say the 49. No, I'm going to say the Rams win. I don't think they lose 3 in a row, and I think the 49ers, like I said, I don't think they've played a lot of great competition this year, and the Rams are probably the best defense they've played up to this point. So, give me the Rams. So, the 1-4 Falcons travel to the 1-3-1 Cardinals. Cardinals notched their first win last week. I think they tied with... They had a tie with the Seahawks. No. Who did they tie with? Oh, yeah, they tied against the Lions, who have actually been playing pretty good this year. Falcons 5-1 versus Cardinals with Matt in the Matt era. Matt Ryan era since 2008. This one's tough because they won last week against the Bengals, who weren't a good team. They tied against the Lions, who are a pretty good team, but they've lost to 3 other teams. But the Falcons have only won 1 game and were utterly massacred last week by the Texans, might I add. So I'm going to say give me the Falcons on the road. I think the Cardinals is probably going to be one of their bigger tests this year, and I think that they're not going to be ready for it. So I'm going to say Falcons win on the road. Move on to 2-4. So the Cowboys, 3-2, play against the 0-4 Jets, who, by the way, are getting Sam Darnold back, so their quarterback situation will be stirred up for the first time in weeks. They have Le'Veon Bell. They have an okay wide receiving group, but their defense needs to step up. I don't think they do against the Cowboys. Jets lose to the Cowboys. The Cowboys move to 4-2 and keep up pace with the Eagles. Titans 2-3 travel to the Broncos, who are 1-4. This one's tough. I mean, the Broncos beat us last week. We didn't play well. We have a lot more injuries than the Titans do. Titans signed Cody Parkey, of all people. I mean, you got to be pretty desperate to sign Cody Parkey. But Titans are allowing fewest points in a season since 2008, so that's something to think about. Don't know what their run defense looks like, so if Phillip Lindsay goes off, that could be the Broncos' win. I'm going to say this one's a tough one. I'm going to call this one a toss-up because it's so hard to choose. But if I had to choose at game time, I'd say the Titans. If I have to pick now, I'm going to say Broncos. So it's a little bit of a toss-up. If I post anything Saturday or Sunday, I might change this prediction just randomly. But as of now, this is where I think it's at. Sunday night football, we have the Steelers traveling to LA to take on the Chargers. Steelers are 1-4, Chargers are 2-3. Steelers are on their 3rd quarterback right now. I don't know if Mason Rudolph play a factor on the decision moving forward. As of now, they're starting an undrafted rookie. The Chargers' defense and offense have injuries all over the place. But I do think they edge out the Steelers at home because, 1, at home, 2, they still have a pretty potent pass rush, and it'll be an undrafted rookie despite him doing well last week against the Ravens. I think he's facing one that's around the same caliber, if not better than the Ravens, even with the injury. So I'm going to say the Chargers win at home. I know I picked the Chargers a lot. This one, it was a little harder to pick because, we lost to the Broncos, who were winless at the time. We're facing the Steelers, who only have 1 win. So I think that game could go either way. But, as a fan of the team, I have to keep picking them. If you don't like it, just think of yourself in my shoes and tell me if you pick against your team. Last one is Monday Night Football. The 2-1 Lions take on the 4-1 Packers. Lions have been surprising this year. They beat the Chargers. They lost their Chiefs narrowly, and then I don't remember who they beat other than that. The Packers have, I think the one loss they had was to Philadelphia. They beat the Cowboys, who were undefeated, or 3-1, I think, at the time. I think they were 3-1 at the time. They beat the Bears, who are 3-2. They've beaten some pretty damn good teams this year. The Lions have beaten some good teams as well. I think I have to take Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau, and it is battle for first place in the division as well, in the early going anyways. But I'm going to say the Packers win. I think Aaron Rodgers is still at the top of his game. Even with that loss against the Eagles, he was still playing pretty damn good that game too. But I'm going to say the Packers win at home against the Lions. It's that simple. And thank you guys for watching this one. I hope you agree with my predictions. If you don't, leave your own in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.